everyone, a very good morning to my respective Madam Puan Nurhartini Binti Harun and my fellow classmates. My name is GURSIMRAN from BALDEV, SINGH, matrix number 03D8019F1001 from D85A and currently a student in Polymas Chitrakuta. Today, I'm going to talk about public opinion regarding mental and physical health during COVID-19 pandemic. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the introduction. Public health emergency may affect the health, safety, and well-being of both individuals, causing, for example, insecurity, confusion, emotional isolation, and stigma, and communities owing to economic loss, work and school closure, inadequate resources for medical response, and deficient distribution of necessities. This effect may translate into a range of emotional reactions such as distress and psychiatric conditions, unhealthy behavior such as excessive substance use, and non-compliance with public health directives such as home confinement and vaccination in people who contact the disease and in the general population. Now I'm going to talk about the background of our survey. The COVID-19 pandemic may have brought many changes to how individuals live their life, and with it, at times, uncertainty, changes in their daily routines, financial pressures, and social isolation. Individuals may get worried about getting sick. How long will the pandemic last? Whether their job will be affected, and what the future will bring. Information overloaded, rumors, and misinformation can make their life fall out of control and make it unclear what to do. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they may experience stress, anxiety, fear, sadness, and loneliness, and mental health disorder, including depression. It can be worsened. Now, I'm going to list out the objective of our survey. We have two purposes. The purpose of conducting this survey is to find out the opinion of public towards mental and physical health, and second is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on mental and physical health. Now I'm going to explain about the population or sample. What is the population or the sample? Let's get into it. The survey that we have conducted to gain the information about mental and physical health during the COVID-19 pandemic is based on the public. Public can be recognized as teenagers, elderly individuals, students, and many more. Now, let's talk about instruments. The term survey instruments refer to 4 categories. First is the questionnaire, which serves as the primary source of data on a given respondent. Second, documents such as the household records card that collect information on members of the respondent's household. A unique set of survey instrument was used during each survey year to collect information from respondents. Third, there are various types of forms that can be used in conducting a survey. For example, SurveyMonkey, Google Forms, and many more. My team and I use Google Forms to carry out our survey. It is easier for us to generate the answers from our respondent. During this pandemic, conducting a survey via online, there are many limitations of it. And also we are not allowed to gather in a big population to conduct a survey. So let's get into it, to the limitation of conducting surveys via online. First is survey fraud. This is the biggest challenge. If your survey is long and or confusing, you might get fake answers. Since there is less accountability, the chances for people just hitting the button to finish up are high. Check the questions you use carefully. People often take surveys because they are promised a reward at the end, resulting in them not accurately contributing to the studies. Second, no interviewers. While sometimes considered a benefit, the lack of an interviewer can sometimes be a negative aspect of online surveys. This is because a skilled interview can often answer out of a participant that isn't very forthcoming with their responses. A skilled interview also know how to read body language and can often tell when a potential participant is being untruthful, as well as adjust question to make an uncomfortable participant feel more at ease. The continuation of limitation during survey via online. Third is limitation on time. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unable to gather any information due to the lack of time. We are unable to have a face-to-face discussion because we are not allowed to gather in a large number, make it difficult for us to meet with others to gather information. Fourth is insufficient internet connection. Work is delayed due to the internet problem, causing us to need more time to complete the work or to conduct a survey. Now, I would like to go into part A, which is to find out the opinion of public towards mental and physical health. During this survey, we have achieved 88 responses, which is quite good. And we are glad that during this COVID-19 pandemic, we are able to at least gather 88 responses. Part A, we will be using a pie chart. Everybody must be thinking, what is pie chart? No worries, I'm here to explain. Pie chart is a circle which is divided into slices to illustrate the numerical proportion. The arc length of each slice is proportional to the quantity it represents. My group and I had created a sentence or a question regarding mental health, on how mental health influences the public, for example, individual. So my group and I formed a question which is, mental health is a state of development of one's, and we have given 4 choices: personality, emotional attitude, intellectual, or personality and emotional attitude. So, during the survey, we have gathered 58% of personality and emotional attitude which the individual has chosen it. It is the most highest percentage that we gathered. The second most highest percentage that we gathered is 33%, which is towards emotional attitude, meaning that individuals get influenced quickly during their emotional attitude. However, the rest, 2.3%, is intellect and 6.8% is only for personality. So we can conclude that personality and emotional attitude, which is 58%, is the most influenced circumstances that an individual face during their mental health. For our second question that my group and I have formed during our survey is, mentally healthy individual has. We have given 4 choices, which is independent personality, comfortable placing in social hierarchy, a purposeful life, and the fourth is all the above. So, during the survey we have conducted and we have gathered 67% of the individual has chosen all the above. It is the highest among 15.9%, which is independent personality, 9.1% comfortable placing in social hierarchy, and 8% a purposeful life.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm FARAH SABRINA binti MOHAMAD ZARIHAN from DAT 5A and my mention number is 03 DAT19 F1004. The paragraph above illustrates about the public experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. As we can see the paragraph above, the x-axis is the emotion which the public faced during the COVID-19 and the y-axis is the responded by the public. As we described, the bar graph, the most accurate point which the public choose is angry with 40 respond. This is because they are not allowed to go out if no important business need to be done. However, the second highest responded that we gathered during the survey is gloomy. This is because while the Movement Control Order MCO is carried out, they are not allowed to go on tour or vacation. In addition, the lowest response that we gathered during this survey is peaceful. This is because public doesn't feel peaceful at all due to the news that the news reporter deliver every day. The rise of the COVID-19 virus keep on scaring the public, and due to this the next lowest response that the public choose is energetic. This is because sport activities are not allowed when COVID-19 cases are at a high level. The pie chart above show how public determine what is physical health. From the chart, it can be seen that 56 respondents choose regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest all contribute to good health compared to 28 respondents choose the ability to maintain a quality of life that allows you to get, and only 4 respondents choose to look pretty. Based on the feedback from questionnaire, we can conclude that physical health is a state of physical well-being in which an individual is mechanically fit to perform daily activities and duties without any problem and void of ailment of body such as disease, obesity, immune deficiency. Referring to the pie chart, you can see that 27 respondents show they get last health examination on less than 6 months ago compared to 23 respondents, which is they get last health examination more than a year ago. A routine health examination ensures that you stay in good health. A physical can also be a preventive step. It allows you to catch up on vaccination or detect a serious condition like cancer, diabetes, or COVID-19 virus before it causes problems. During a routine physical, your doctor can also check your weight, heart rate, and blood pressure. As the above bar graph explains the limitation of doing daily activities. Public response, no problem for doing light physical activities with 36 response, which is the highest data that we managed to obtain. In addition, public choose moderately when doing moderate physical activities with 32 response. Lastly, the lowest respondent that we obtained is 7 response. This is because for the moderate physical activities, many respondents dislike and feel less motivated.
Good morning, madam. My name is KAUR. My number battery is 03D8019F1012 and I am from D80-5A. I will continue for part B, that is to investigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on mental and physical health. First of all, the graph above illustrates about the impact of doing physical activity during COVID-19 pandemics. How physical activity can help to increase endurance and muscle strength. The horizontal axis was stated as a category of rushing, whilst the vertical axis is about the frequency. From the graph above, we can see public strongly agree with the statement above with the percentage of 31.8%, which is the higher amount than others statement. However, only 2.3% choose strongly disagree on the above statement. Therefore, we can also justify that only 2 respondents choose strongly disagree, and it's is the most lower percentage that we can able to obtain during the survey. Once conducting the survey, we can see that only 2 respondents were chose strongly disagree when once there was a slight rise than where the public choose disagree towards to the statement above, which is 4.5%. Moreover, there is a slight increase by 5.7% regarding public slightly disagree with the above statement. In addition, 30.7% of the public choose slightly agree towards to statement above, which is the second higher percentage in that we managed to obtain when we was conducting our survey. Next, there is a decrease of 5.7% of public agree with the statement above. Lastly, 31.8% of the public strongly agree with the statement above. It is the most higher percentage that we managed to obtain once conducting the survey. Secondly, the graph above illustrates about what will cause overreach and effect on the public's health. From the graph above, we can see the public strongly agree with the statement above, with the percentage of 58%, which is the higher amount on the statement. However, only 2.3% choose strongly disagree on the above statement. Therefore, we can justify that only 2 responded choose strongly disagree, and it is the second lower percentage that we are available to obtain during the survey. Once conducting the survey, we can see that only 2 respondents were choose strongly disagree, means there are a drop where the public choose disagree toward the statement above, which is 0%. Moreover, there is a slight increase by 5.7% regarding public slightly disagree with the above statement. In addition, 13.6% of the public choose slightly agree toward to the statement above, which is the third higher percentage that we managed to obtain when we were conducting our survey. Therefore, there is an increase of 44.4% between slightly agree and strongly agree on the statement above. Lastly, 58% of the public choose strongly agree with the statement above. It is the most higher percentage that we can manage to obtain once conducting the survey. Thirdly, the graph above illustrates about what will effect on our public health. For the graph above, we can see public strongly agree with the statement above, which the percentage of 46.6%, which is the higher amount that's on our statement. However, only 1.1% choose strongly disagree and disagree on the above statement. Therefore, we can justify that only 1 respondent choose strongly disagree and disagree on it, on statement, and it is the most lower percentage. On the statement above, we can see that no change between strongly disagree and disagree during the survey. Once there was a climb when the public chose slightly disagree towards on the statement above, which is 8%. Moreover, there is a slightly increase by 14.7% regarding public slightly disagree with the above statement. In addition, 22.7% of the public choose slightly agree towards to the statement above, which is the second higher percent that we managed to obtain when we were conducting our survey. Next, we obtained feel between slightly agree and disagree and agree, and that is a decrease of 2.2% between slightly agree and agree. It also get a rocket from agree to strongly agree on the statement above. Lastly, 46.6% of the public strongly agree was on the statement above. It is the most higher percent. Lastly, the graph above illustrates about why many individuals feel like tired or having little energy. From the graph above, we can see the public strongly disagree with the statement above, with the percentage of 45.5%, which is the highest amount to other statements. However, obtain 0% choose strongly disagree and agree on the statement above, and it is the most lower percentage that we are able to obtain during the survey. Once conducting the survey, we can see that it's a slight increase by 6.8% regarding public slightly disagree with the above statement. In addition, 15.9% of the public choose slightly agree towards the statement above, which is the third higher percentage that we can manage to obtain when we were conducting our survey. Next, there is an increase of 38.6% between slightly agree and strongly agree. It also get a rocket from slightly agree to strongly agree on the statement above. Therefore, 54.5% of public strongly agree with the statement above. It is the most higher percentage that we managed to obtain whilst conducting our survey.
Hello and good afternoon to my lecturer Puan Hatini and the audience. Before I start interpreting the graph, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Tan Jing Xuan from DAT 5A and my matrix number is 03DAT19F1013. In this part of presentation, I'd like to continue talking about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on mental and physical health. Firstly, let me explain the graph. The reason why we use bar graph is because this graph breaks categorical data by ranking scale. As you can see, the horizontal line is x-axis and represents the 6-point force Likert scale, while for the vertical line is y-axis and represents the number of responses for each. The third impact that we gather from survey is accumulator of tasks during COVID-19 pandemic can increase workload and indirectly increase stress. How you think about it? How can you respond about this statement? Referring to the bar graph, we can justify there have 34 respondents strongly agree with this impact, and it also the highest option. Oppositely, strongly disagree is the lowest option, which rated by public with 1.1%. To conclude it, this bar graph clearly shows that there is a slightly rise from public responses. We also did a survey to investigate how public respond towards listening to media about COVID-19 information. Let me point out the survey question. Our survey question is, listening to media about COVID-19 on a regular basis can make us more anxious and frustrated. Now, let us look more closely at the bar graph. For strongly disagree and agree, they have 3 respondents each, which show no changes in graph and means stabilized. This interpretation also can be used for slightly agree and agree, which rated by the public with 25% respectively. Additionally, more of the respondents strongly agree with this statement, but they still having 14 respondents slightly disagree with it. In my viewpoint, I also slightly disagree with this statement. This is because listening to media enables us to obtain the latest information about COVID-19 and promote the understanding of risk and help expert advice. Last but not least, do you agree lack of face-to-face communication will cause you feel lonely? Based on the feedback from the questionnaire we conducted, we can analyze the data of liquor skill were chosen by those 88 respondents. In the illustrated bar graph, there is a sharp rise in the proportion of public responses devoted to the impact of COVID-19 from slightly disagree to slightly agree, with the difference of 13.6%. The public opinion regarding with the above question is slightly agree, which can be described at the highest percentage, and we able to gather this data during our survey. Next, public also judge the question above can be strongly agree. As we can see, the graph display there has a notable decline from slightly agree to agree and a climb to strongly agree, which indicates 23.9%. Before I end up my presentation, I'd like you to focus your attention on the mental and physical health issue. By the reason of COVID-19 pandemic, this situation not merely has led a dramatic loss of human life worldwide, but the physical distancing and isolation measures are particularly challenging us, as they affect what we love to do, where we want to be, and who we want to be with. No matter how, attaining a good mental and physical health should not be ignored on that account. This is my to provide some suggestions for you. The first point is getting enough sleep. Everyone ought to go back and get out at the same time each day. It signifies sticking close to your typical sleep-wake schedule, even if you are staying at home. Hence, getting enough sleep is important to reduce the stress and lower the risk of serious disease. The second point is limiting screen time. What is limiting screen time? Limiting screen time include turn off electric device for some time each day, especially 30 minutes to 60 minutes before bedtime. We are encouraged to make a conscious effort to spend less time in front of a screen such as computer, tablet, television, phone, and so on. As a result, we have the chance to free up more time and build closer relationship with our family. The third point is setting priorities. Don't become overwhelmed by creating a life-changing list of things to achieve while you are home. For example, setting a reasonable goal each day and outline the steps you can take to reach those goals. Consequently, give yourself credit for every step in the right direction. Then you may realize that this day will be better than others. The following presented slides are appendix which consist of the sample instrument such as the questionnaire we conducted in Google Form. Wow, this brings me to the end of my group presentation. Thank you for your attention. Bye.